are more observant Orthodox Jews, not one of whom would accept that as a proper interpretation. Generally, the stumbling block is in Leviticus 18, which has to do with homosexuality. And I suspect, like any other law, that is fairly reread by my colleagues on the law committee to a very, very narrow circumstance that no longer simply applies. And if something is not prohibited in the Torah, well, then you have two choices. And those two choices were very well represented in late 19th century legalists in the Orthodox world. One said quite simply, if something is not prohibited in the Torah, it is my assumption, therefore, that it is permitted. And the other said, just because something's not prohibited in the Torah doesn't mean you can do anything you want. Au contraire, just because it's not specified doesn't mean that it's permissible. And therefore, if I reach a new circumstance and am asked to adjudicate, I will automatically assume it's forbidden. This is why we always counsel people to think very carefully before you ask a rabbi a question. Who is that rabbi you're asking, and what their answer is likely to be? Because once they've given you that answer, you're kind of stuck with it. So,
that's good.
I'm obviously unqualified to speak about first of all, this topic, for which I thank God. But I will say that as a member of the extremely small group of non-Orthodox observant people with no rabbinic interests or pretensions, it is hard not to see the Holy Trinity case as this case, and hard to believe that if in fact the words as they are written do not mean what they say, that I should still ask the rabbis who concluded that what I may eat and what I may not eat. But it's also hard to believe the converse, which leaves people like me confused and depressed.
Is there a danger component here, to use your own term?
Dangerous how? Eschatologically?
I don't know. This kind of approach could be dangerous as opposed to, say, creative.
It's definitely creative, right? I think you would agree with that, yeah? It's definitely creative. As a sociological matter, we will know if it's dangerous or not based on whether anyone is living an observant life under its regulations after it's been enforced for, say, 1,500 years. Is it dangerous in the sense that it makes people question whether they have to keep their milk separate from their meat? Sure it is. Is that danger spiritually profitable or spiritually negative? I don't know. I imagine it's both. For many people, for some people more dangerous, and for some people more profitable, but probably profitable for people who imagine that it's dangerous, and dangerous for people who imagine that it's profitable. Right? Can I just respond to that?
just a little bit, because one of the dangers that progressives feel, particularly about the gay and lesbian issue, is the danger of hypocrisy. I was very careful when I said that the seminary that I teach at decided to start ordaining out gays and lesbians. The reality is